And 1, and 2, and 3. It is part 2. Back on the voodoo shit that you wanted to talk about. And you were urging me to talk about it. And you even wanted to play the harmonica.
Back on the voodoo.
Can you play the Roseanne theme?
Shit. What? The Louisiana theme?
No, the Roseanne theme. Come on.
Oh, man. I could try.
That's not the Roseanne theme.
Do you mean Sanford and Son?
No, I'm talking about the Roseanne theme. Do I have to pull it up?
I don't know.
The Roseanne theme.
Is that the one that's like, everywhere you go, everywhere you... It's
you're
hard
fucking trolling. You're trolling me. You're extreme troll right now in that mode.
What's that other one? What's that other one that's like, I never knew there'd come a day.
No.
When I've been saying to you.
I don't even know which one that is. I feel like that could be a topic in itself.
That was the one.
To dig into those intro themes for television shows of the late 90s sitcoms, early 90s sitcoms, all of them. Do you like just being obnoxious with that vape? I'm so glad.
Vaping is good, man. It keeps me sharp.
I'm so glad I never bumped into out of college, because I remember when I first went to college, that was the fucking hot new thing to do, was to vape every fucking where. This is like 2012, 2013.
Oh yeah, I was vaping up a storm. Fucking College of Southern Nevada, bro. Me and my vape bros, man, we took that smoke break, dude. It was like fucking...
It wasn't even... People didn't even have to take the smoke breaks, man. They were just fucking doing it all throughout the campus. That shit was so foggy and hazy in there. Mm-hmm.
Swag, man.
I hear you. I hear you loud and clear.
Swag, man. Yeah, vaping's nice, man. I try to keep it minimal, dude, you know.
Move on forward. Fuck vaping. Fuck you.
All right.
I'm tired of your horse shit and your vaping.
We don't gotta talk about vaping, man.
I ain't gotta talk about no vaping.
You don't want no ASMR vape? You don't want no... Hey, guys, it's Lewis here. Vaping some 38 milligram. This is called Blue Icy, all right? This is a blue raspberry mixed with a menthol. You gotta get the menthol up front with a nice blue raspberry finish. I'm gonna take a little puff of this now. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's really nice.
You know what? You should make those YouTube videos. I'm not gonna lie. You said you don't have a very nice radio voice, but when you did that voice, that was kind of soothing. I'm not gonna lie. But fuck, that shit totally put me off track. You know, you ever seen those ears, those true ASMR microphones with the two ears on the sides?
And people just like touch them and stuff. Yeah.
Dude, they have these videos on Pornhub to where basically the girls nibble on them. And I feel like we should have talked about it in the last one. But either way, we're moving forward.
Girls be nibbling
I'm seeing all
on,
these
man.
peaks over here, man. You fucking...
I'm sorry, I got a loud laugh,
I'm
man.
kidding.
I got a loud laugh.
No, it's just funny to watch these fucking wave files over here. Because then you think it's louder than what it actually is. I'm going to shove that vape
that's
so
delicious.
fucking far up your ass.
That's delicious. I'm sorry, man. You know, I'm thinking about that ASMR video and shit like that, man. My girlfriend watches these videos on Snapchat called Satisfying.
Oh, I do too.
And it's just people with slime and stuff. And I love watching them, but at the same time, I'm like, these people are making bank.
Yeah.
Just playing with fucking slime and glitter and
cutting
shit.
sand
and
shit
cutting
up.
soap and shit like that. But I mean, it looks awesome, dude. And then sometimes when you see them cut soap, they have band-aids on their hands when they were dumbasses and cut themselves. And you could literally see it. Or it's just some like boyfriend forcing her girlfriend to cut soap. And she's just like, I don't want to cut any more soap today. And he's like, we gotta pay the mortgage. Like, you cut that fucking soap right now.
It's like people who do those open box videos, or they do those reaction videos. I feel like reaction videos are fucking the worst.
Dude, that shit's a fucking scam, bro.
That is such a scam.
Dude, like, it's literally where it's like, there was this guy and he's just like, black guy reacts to Pink Floyd for the first time. And it's just a whole Pink Floyd album with a guy just there going like, oh my God. And he's just getting views off of that. And it's just like, no, dude.
And sometimes they don't even truly react. They're just kind of like, they sit there and they nod their heads.
And they're just like, okay, this is pretty cool. I see what they're doing.
I could see why they call it psychedelic.
Yeah.
I can see why they call you a fucking scam artist, you piece of shit.
It's just, you're just kind of piggybacking. There's some people like nostalgia critic and people like that.
Well, they write an actual script and they do skits on it.
And that's like
different.
like a whole nother level. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
That's different than just like, I'm gonna play this content that someone else worked really hard on and just like make jokes about it and then get the same amount of views and laugh. Like, that's kind of fucked up, dude.
Yeah, there's that fine line between it. But shit, you know, there's a fine line between people who fall through and flakes, and not really. Actually, there is a fine line between flakes and people who fall through, because you can fall through once, but when you start to flake, that's when you start to become like dandruff, and you do it all the fucking time, and it's just, you know what? It's a nuisance at that point.
Yeah, and just oh man, a lot of people.
Speaking of flakes, I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, but we were supposed to have somebody else on this podcast other than Ruwie, a person who called me, and I even called him back several times. And we called him today.
We did. We had another Lewis here. He's a cool guy. He plays drums.
Oh, he was never going to fucking do it either way. He's like, I don't want to do the fucking podcast. What? I don't bring nothing to the table. I'm like, look here, Igor. Keep putting your fucking self down. Chill the hell out. I'm talking about Eric. The man who wanted to be here. The man who called me on Thursday, I believe. Or it was Wednesday. Something like that. Because I release these every 4 days. Yeah, it's very frequent. So when you guys want to be on this podcast, you can just come on. You just have to be on a Sunday or you have to be on a Thursday.
Or on a Thursday, man.
A Thursday. I try to pre-record these a lot more, but I don't know. I like to get into the current events when it's just myself. Because when I know it's just going to be myself, I kind of just go on to Twitter and I go on to other things and I rant about it. And I come up with the topics. But when I got other guests on here, I like to play ping pong over here.
Just have crazy shit.
I throw you the ball. You throw me the ball. But Ruwie, I need to know, what are your thoughts on the flakers? Well, what's the worst experience you've had on somebody flaking or falling through?
I think a lot of that comes down to like when you're doing band and musical stuff. And I mean, I'm sure you got some stories too, but there's been a lot of times where like you get involved with people and you're really serious and you want to do something cool, and then like the next day people don't show up and they don't want to do shit, or they think it's dumb, or like they want to change everything, and well, mainly just not showing up and not wanting to do stuff. And I feel like in music a lot of people do that, and a lot of people are always like, oh, I'm down as fuck, until you do it, and then they're just like, oh no, fuck this, you know?
Yeah. Or
that's the biggest letdown, dude. Like, people not showing up for shows, people not showing up for practice, people not wanting to be in a band anymore, people showing up to audition for your band and being like, oh, right on, yeah, we're gonna do this. Yeah. And then they never hit you up again, dude.
That's happened to me so many times, man, and it's a universal thing amongst all the genres.
I mean, I've done that to people.
Yeah,
like I've walked into some situations of people I found off of Craigslist, and I'm just like, oh, what the fuck is this situation? I'm out of here. Yeah. And then they try to call me, and they're like, what's up, bro? Don't you want to jam? And I'm just like, oh, no.
Yeah. Nobody is perfect when it comes to flaking on people. Like, I've flaked on people. We've all flaked in one way or fashion. But when it becomes such a frequent thing where you get the worst accusers, not the accusers, but the worst offenders are the people who are overly enthusiastic around you and always be like, dude, we got to link up. We got to do a project, man. We got to do a collab. And then they're constantly hitting you up constantly. Like, and the day comes to where like, yeah, let's do it. And you like,
and then
you have scheduled that whole day for them. And then they don't even call you. They don't do nothing. But they were the person insisting so much. That has happened to me. I don't have enough fingers on my fucking hands to tell you how many times that's happened to me.
That shit's happened to me many times too, dude. Where you're literally just like, someone just like, we should jam. Hit me up. We need to do this, dude. We gotta make some music. I'll be so swag. And then you're just like, all right, let's do this. And then no one shows up.
Yeah, dude. They don't show up. Or the worst time is where it's kind of like they do show up, but they bring zero to the table. And this happens all the fucking time in the hip hop genre. And they'll be like,
it does.
"Oh, you didn't have a beat for me, or you didn't have this for me," or like they expect you to like hold their hand, like, and it usually happens to where like they ask me, like, this used to happen to me all the time, like a couple years back in high school, in college, all the time, where it's kind of like somebody would come over and be like, "Yeah, I'll write some shit," and yada yada yada, and I'm like, "No, you said you wanted me to record you."
You like bring your shit.
Yeah, bring your shit.
What
like,
do you have?
Like what song, what lyrics? All these people have to do is literally bring a file and bring their lyrics. One of those things is just on their phone. Two of those things could be just on their phone to transfer on.
Two of those,
and
things.
they don't have any of it. It's like, oh, I'll write it there. Fuck you! I'm not here to just.
You can't write your song at the studio, and he's just like, "Hey, give me an idea, man.
Yeah, like
What rhymes with this, man?"
I'll understand if you have something written and you like want to change it while you're at the studio because you're hearing it for the first time recording it. That's different. But if
You
you're
need
like,
to start with something, dude.
I've had people to where they came to my house and they're kind of like, "Oh, I was gonna make a beat here." I just had that look of like, well, it's a school night and that's gonna take a while, and I want you out of here like in less than 4 hours. Yeah, I gotta beat off before I go to bed, so I'm gonna need you to leave. And sometimes they'll just be there for an hour and they'll look at you like, "Oh, you didn't give me any material." Like, fuck you. Like, I buy all this equipment. I saved up all my money to do this and that. And you got jack shit. Or when you deny the people the studio place or whatever, it's like, "Oh, I heard you got a studio." Or when you give them the advice on how to do exactly what you did, but then they'll be like, "But I thought I just wanted to record at your place." This ain't how it works anymore, you fucking idiot. Like, you're not going to pay me to record. Like, there was people who actually paid me to record them.
I don't know if you've dealt with similar people, but like it's a thing in fucking the community and like the scene of music that I play in where bands just like always forget shit or just don't have shit and always have to borrow shit. And that's the most annoying thing on earth. And I personally have like never had to ask for someone else's shit like that, but people do it all the time. And it's literally like a band that came from like California here and they're just like, "Anybody have a guitar? We didn't have a guitar tonight." No, but dude, I'm not even making that shit up. That's not even, dude, we just played a show a while back where they didn't have a guitar amp, a keyboard amp, or drums, or a bass amp.
And it was a band that just
and
came
it was a
and brought
band
themselves.
like they were touring, like they were going to multiple places, and this is one of the places they stopped. They were from Chicago.
So it was just a bunch of dudes.
They just
in a
rely
van.
on other assholes, basically.
Not even instruments.
They have the instruments. They didn't have any of the amps, and they didn't have a bass. They had to borrow the bass, I believe. They had to borrow the whole drum set.
Jesus Christ!
But
I
that's
can
how
imagine
bands
that always
do it.
happens in your situations because of how much equipment you have to haul around. But at the same time,
It's really fucking irresponsible, dude. And I went to fucking Mexico and played on
Yeah.
my own shit. So, like,
I feel like
I could do it myself, dude. Why can't you, you know?
I feel like, especially with bands, it's like if you guys are so like close knit, like people invest in each other's stuff or they invest in their own equipment, and it's kind of like, oh, takes the two to make a thing go right type of shit. Like I have my guitar.
People are cool with it, and I've lent people stuff and been cool with it, but it feels very unprofessional to me. And
It is.
sometimes
It's extremely.
and sometimes it's really ratchet shit like that, like, "Dude, you got a cable, man?" Or just some shit like that. Or like we show up to a show and they're just like, "Hey, we don't have a mic."
That's
and it's
happened to
like
me.
the people throwing the show, and you're just like, "What?"
Yeah, that's actually happened to me. Like, one time this dude, like, threw the event and he was hosting it. Then he's like, "Hey, do you mind if I borrow your mic?" I'm like, "Aren't you hosting it?" It's like, "Yeah, I forgot mine."
And people don't even know there's a lot more to that than just having a mic, dude,
Yeah,
and PA and all this other horse shit.
So I just happened to have, like, I guess the mic, the mic that he needed, but it just kind of threw me off to where I was like, do you, like, how do you not have the thing that you use to play or, like, your vocals. Like you're mainly just a vocalist. That's like your number one instrument.
Yeah.
That's like me saying like, "Hey, come to my studio," and you fucking walk into the booth. Where's the mic?
Bro, you got any like tape or some shit to record with, dude? I don't know how we're gonna do this, man. Did you bring some shit?
Yeah, did you bring a CD so I can record it onto it? Here, I got a QuickTime player. Oh, sorry. Even with these newer computers, because they don't do CDs, so you have to actually buy the like adapter to it, which I have it, but I'm saying like it's the principle about how all this shit just goes down, and it all gets encompassed into this fucking category of like stupidity. Like this is willingly stupid at this point when you don't bring your equipment or you don't bring certain assets to it. And what pisses me off most...
I was at a show once where the band literally went off stage. Okay, so here's from an experience. I usually bring a backup guitar. But there was a couple shows where I didn't. There was this one show that was like a train wreck, and there was hardly any light, and it was hard to see. And then on top of that, I ended up breaking a string. But I didn't have a backup, and I just finished, dude. And it sounded not right, but like it was close enough, you know. And I finished the set. And then there was this time we were in California seeing a band play, right? So usually I have a backup or I'll finish. That's what I'm trying to say. That's me. That's what I think you should do. We're in California and there's this band playing, right? Mm-hmm. And then their fucking guitar player breaks a string. And they stop everything. And they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Does anybody have a guitar out there? Does anybody have a guitar? And like no one says anything. And he's like, oh, really? Oh, really? No one's got a guitar? Everyone else came here to play music tonight, but no one else brought a guitar, huh? That's fucked up. Really? No one's got a guitar? For like 5 minutes, and then he's like, all right, fuck this. We're out of here. And then
wait, somebody who was in the middle of a set did that?
Yeah.
Who was hosting it? Was it them?
That was the band saying that. That was the band, like the singer of the band.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they walked off. They didn't finish.
No, oh my god. I got horror stories for days when it comes to these like shows in your genre or like similar to your genre, because I went to a punk show a couple weeks back and this dude was fucking so drunk and belligerent that he, I guess, snapped the mic stand in half. And you know how these are like kind of unfinished metal inside of them? There was a mic cable below him and he fucking stabbed it with the mic stand and it cut it in half. And the person like sort of running the, I guess the AV area, the sound engineer chick, she runs over there and does this to him. It grabs the two cables like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing? And then he's just kind of, he's throwing up. Like, dude, these fucking shows.
Oh, I've seen some train wrecks.
I don't know how you guys do it.
I've seen some train wrecks. Oh, I could tell
They shut rappers shit down so fast.
I could tell you some stories, bro.
For cupping the mic, like shit that's like, you know, bro, we got the motherfucking building there, and then you got the AV guys like, stop cupping the mic. Stop cupping the mic. Yo, can you turn my headphones up a little bit?
It depends on the sound guy, dude. Some sound guys are like, whatever.
No, this girl was fucking pissed, but she had to like get somebody else to like get that dude off the stage.
Dude, there's on the flip side, man, I want to tell the opposite story, man, because like sometimes sound guys are good. And
yeah, they are.
When I have a good sound guy, I'm literally, dude, this is a thing that I do every show. Like, I don't talk to a lot of people, you know, at the show. Like, I don't want to chop it up with the promoter. That's what, like, Chucky does, dude. Like, I don't talk to that guy. But whenever, like, we're done playing or when we sound check, I always go to the sound guy and I'm like, thank you. Like, unless it was bad, then I'm not going to say it. But, dude, there's the one night where we played at the Triple B's, which is a fucking bar up here on the Strip. That's a really nice fucking place, dude. Like, it's a ballin' place to have a show. It's a really good show. The sound guy was drunk as fuck, dude. So this is the flip side. I was pretty sober. I mean, I smoked a shit ton of weed, but I wasn't falling over myself. This guy had a drink in his hand on the stage, and he's walking up to my amp, and he sets up the fucking, like, mic on the little tripod in front of my amp, and then he walks away and trips over the cable and knocks it over. And then he turns around and he's like, oh, damn it. And then I see him struggle for like 2 minutes trying to like drunkenly bend over without falling over to pick up that fucking mic and put it back up, and I was finally just like, dude, let me do it. And he's like, oh, thank you, man. Thank you. And it was just a train wreck of sound, like, the whole night, too. Like, it was fucked. Like, other shit was fucked also. But then I've been to other shows where the sound guys are, like, legit, and if somebody fucks with their shit, like, they will cuss you out, dude.
They get
Hell
super mad.
yeah, dude.
I've seen that. I've seen that happen so many times. I've never seen a drunk sound guy.
I've seen so many goddamn drunk sound guys, dude.
Oh my god.
Dude, there's this other sound guy, just because we're talking about sound guys, who works at the dive bar in town. I forget his name right now. But he's fucking from the UK. He's got a thick-ass British accent. And he's a hard-ass, but he's hilarious, dude. But, like, we walk in the stage, and, like, I move my shit up on the stage. I put the cases up there. I started loading my shit, and he's like, what the fuck is up all this mess? You leaving the cases on the stage? Are you moving into my fucking stage? And he's just, like, roasting us, dude. Like, Gordon Ramsay type shit, dude. And then, like, the second time we go there, he doesn't remember us at first. And then, like, he sees that we don't have, like, 4 members. We have, like, 6 members. He's like, what? How many mics do you need? Oh, fucking hell. And then he was just like, he like remembered that it was our band again. And he was like, oh, fucking hell, it's all coming back to me. You guys got the keyboard player with 2 separate keyboards. And the volumes are all click and clack all opposite. And he just started like roasting all our shit, dude. But he's an incredible sound guy. And every time we played there, we sounded dope. Despite him cussing us out and everything like that.
Well, the guy takes his job seriously.
He does.
On the other side of where that other guy you were talking about who's drunk, I'd rather have the guy who's cussing me out than the guy who's drunk. Because the guy who's cussing you out, at least you know he takes pride in his job. And
He's
what
legit.
doing.
I love that guy. He's a character. He's a character, man.
Oh,
but
bloody
it's just
hell,
like
you
he'll give
fucking
you
guys
shit.
are-
No, dude. If dude, like when he's sound checking, like he's be like, give me the drum. And then Job is just like, doo-doo-doo-doo, on the keyboard. And he's like, hey, shut the fuck up. I'm listening to the drum type shit, dude. Like,
listening to the
like, and before the sound check even starts, he's like, all right, this is my stage. This is my fucking rules if you're going to play here.
Have you, what bar is that?
That's
Where's
called
he
the
at?
dive bar, dude.
He's at the dive bar.
Yeah, it's this old
but-
dude with gray hair,
Last
man.
time I went to the dive bar, the fucking sound was all fucked up. You remember that one house show we went to with I guess I'll say his name, but the guy who was the lead guitarist of the Stop on Green band.
Angel, bro. He went
Angel.
to high school with us.
Yeah, but we went to that house show and that fucking treble on that guitar was insane. You remember that?
I think I
And
do,
it was like
man.
flipping everywhere, like in the acoustics, like outside.
I mean, dude, we played like our band played at First Friday recently, and they put us in this room that was an art expo room. So it was just this big concrete fucking room with high ass ceilings, and we sounded like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not that we were even playing bad. It just was like,
Yeah, the acoustics are
shit,
terrible in
dude.
those rooms.
Terrible, man. Yeah.
I just remember that of like, that's when you don't have a sound guy, is when you're at those house shows. But sometimes,
You got somebody doing something, but oftentimes they suck, dude.
yeah. I remember you guys had me be a sound guy for one of those desert shows
That was
like
fun, bro.
4 years ago.
Those were fucking crazy, man.
I kept getting, you know what happened? I got fucking interrupted by my cousin who was hanging out with some other dude who I ended up meeting actually not even a couple years. I met him through dating his cousin. Yeah, either way. That shit pissed me off when you guys let me do my set and then I got fucking interrupted by family. It's like, what the hell are you doing here? Fucking pissed me off. That was before I even had stage, balls up there.
That was the time, dude. We were on acid.
Is that why you guys were on acid and you guys were driving up there that day?
No, we took it when we got there.
Oh, no wonder you guys are kind of.
That was a crazy fucking night, dude. We didn't.
I left early.
We didn't have a good set that night either.
You remember? Oh my God!
That was a wild ass train wreck of a night, and then the guy fucking wrecked his 4x4 and almost killed everybody.
Yeah. Then there was the other thing to where those people didn't. There was a band that didn't bring instruments too. You remember that?
Yeah.
There's bands that. Oh my God! It was
It's a
fun
very
night.
common thing to not bring dick and be just like, we're here.
Is that common?
Yeah, bro. It's
God.
sadly, I hate that shit. I really do. Like I said, like I
How
have
the
my
fuck
shit.
do you have a similar sound every time you perform.
They
You're just
don't
kind of
care.
like,
They don't do. Okay, you want to hear the level? This is where I got really mad. This is where I got super mad because I've had pretentious ass people borrow my shit and then talk shit about my shit, saying like, "What is this? This sounds like garbage." Like that's happened to me. So there's a band, a very, very old classic ska band called the Scatolites, dude. They're like popular in like the fucking late 60s and early 70s in like the UK. But they still tour, but it's very few original members. One of the original singers is there, but she only sings like 1 or 2 songs a night. And then the original drummer is there. And then they had like a younger bass player, a younger guitar player. A couple of the horn players have been there for a lot of years. And then like that was it basically. But they were touring. So it was like a very well-known band. They were touring the world type shit. The guitar player was from Europe, dude. This guy was from France. Okay, I don't even know how the fuck he ended up playing for that band. How the fuck he gets that thing, but he gets that thing. So he's playing with them, and they didn't have any amps or a drum set. They had to borrow all of our shit.
that big ass band like
Yup. So he had to borrow my guitar amp, and he was mad about it. And that amp, that Vox amp that's sitting like right over there, is like
that really nice one, the black one below.
The black one sitting there. But what I want to say is it's a modeling amp in the sense that it has 12 different simulations of amps within it and then a bunch of effects on top of that. And he literally was like mad about it and was like, he's like, "Hey, I can't get your amp to sound right. This sounds really bad. This doesn't sound clean. This doesn't sound clean," with like his French accent. And the whole time he's like, "This really doesn't sound good. I wish I had something better, but you know, I'll make it work." Like he didn't even say thank you type shit. And I'm like, you fucking prick. Like, you pretentious asshole. I don't know how much your band is getting paid for this show, but my band's not getting paid dick. Like,
yeah.
And you're like talking shit about my gear that I'm like letting you use. There's this other time a metal band borrowed it. And they were like, "Oh, this isn't heavy enough. Can it get louder? Can it get louder? Can it get..." And they literally had it turned up like to absolute max. And then they just played and it sounded like shit. But he liked how it sounded. But at first he was just like, "This is bullshit." Oh, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, if you want the sound, why don't you bring it? Because I care about the guitar I play. I care about the pedals. I care so much that I use only a specific kind of fucking pick. And if I don't have it, like, I'm not cool with my shit. So it's like, I care that much. But I guess some people don't and are just like, "Oh, it's whatever they have, dude."
Does it blow your mind every time, like, or is it kind of like, "Oh, well,
There are some
this
people.
be expected"?
There's some people that are really impressive like that. Like Chuck Berry famously never had a band, and he would just go into town and hire musicians and be like, "Oh, you play drums? Okay, you're gonna play with me tonight. Oh, you play this? You're gonna play me tonight." And he would start songs in a way where he would play a little part, and then they would know the key of the song, and then they would just come in behind him. So he never had a band. That's why he was always Chuck Berry. He would just hire people. Like stand-ins, and that's
did
kind
he at
of
least
like
have his equipment?
No, he had his equipment. What I'm saying in the sense of like not preparedness, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's impressive. Fucking
Well, I'm saying he at least had his equipment. That's
he
my
did.
point.
I guess what I'm trying to say is using next to nothing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and he's not ready for that. Showing up with nothing. Like fucking Frank Zappa would famously play one of those little amps, like the one sitting there, which is like this little piece of shit. Just like some simple thing that people are like, "You can't do anything with that." So I mean, like, sometimes it's inspiring to see like somebody that's like, "Oh yeah, I could play on anything. Let us hop on and play this shit." You know what I mean? But fucking bring your shit. If you're gonna play something, bring your shit, dude.
Yeah, I get the occasional, like, you didn't bring a certain, I guess, product. I get in a way, I could see it where you're missing an element. But I'm saying if you're willingly going to that show, why wouldn't you have any of that equipment? Like when you were telling me about that band touring, like you guys are there for one reason.
And they're just like, "We can't bring it because of space."
That's horseshit.
No, it is horseshit, especially when they make like amps like that you could hold in your hand that are like 150 watts and 50 watts. It's like, dude, there's so much small shit that works now.
Yeah, like it's inexcusable at
Dude,
that point.
I mean, at least have something that you can plug into the PA. You can plug bass direct into the PA. You can fucking plug a guitar if you have a preamp into the PA and it'll sound alright, dude. You could do that with keys too, but you need all that shit to go into the PA, dude, you know?
Okay. Now I got another element to ask you, because I feel like this is like an interview. But, can you, you really don't talk to promoters too much, but can you give me experiences you've had with certain promoters?
Oh, they're fucking cocks.
All of them?
I've had a lot. I mean, we've played some good shows, bro. I've had a good run, but our times with promoters, as far as like on a personal level and caring about the band and everything, it's been a bad time, bro. Like, a perfect example is this show that was coming up just a while back where we were supposed to play with this band called Cerebro Negro, and they're a pretty big band. That was going to be a wicked-ass fucking show. It was all set up for Triple Bs. They were selling pre-sale tickets for $10. We were selling tickets too. And at the last minute, that band had issues with their passports because some of their members live in Mexico and some live in California, like right on the border. So they had issues with their passports and they couldn't get a visa to come play, basically. So they couldn't make it. The promoter of the show knows this for months, and he doesn't tell anybody until a week before the show, and then he secretly tells us, and he says, hey, so they're not coming, but do you guys want to play the show anyways? Are you down? Are you down? And then we're just like, okay. I mean, we love playing shows, but this guy didn't announce they weren't coming, didn't say he was giving refunds to everything, still wanted to charge $10, and wanted it to just be us playing. And that's hella fucked up, right? To still have their name on the marquee, all the promotion for them, charging money for them. We sold tickets to our friends who wanted to see them, and then fucking...
But you guys didn't tell your friends either. But you had to keep it on the down low.
We didn't do it.
Oh, you guys didn't do the show?
We didn't do it. We announced it and basically said, we're not doing it. They're not coming out. It's bullshit.
Okay. You guys have integrity. I like it.
But that's a good example of how promoters are. There's another time where we played a show and we wanted a guest list and they gave it to us, and we got fucking 30 goddamn people in this place for free on our guest list. And apart from that, it was packed anyways, and they were hella mad. They were just like, yeah, you know, you should have sold those people tickets instead of putting them on your guest list. That was pretty excessive. But they literally told us up to 30.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like...
Well, it's kind of like...
It's basically like they didn't think we were going to do it type shit. It's just like, they're not going to, you know? And then we actually have a banging show, and there was a lot of people there, and I'm sure everybody made a good amount of money.
Was it a bar?
Yeah, I'm sure everybody made a good amount of money tonight. I'm sure a lot of people made money that night, but they were still just like, hey, that's not enough. Then there was another thing where this guy threw a show, and it was all local bands at Triple B's right there, and he was mad because we only sold 20 tickets. And it was also a pretty good show, but like, he was mad, and at the same time we were like, bro, it's a bar, mostly kids listen to our music, and you didn't bring in anyone out of town, so not many of our friends want to pay $10 to see us. I mean, they love us and everything, but you know what I mean.
That's what kind of sucks about throwing shows here in Vegas, is that most of the time it's in bars.
Yeah, dude.
And,
Arizona and California have that dope ass thing to where if it's an outside thing or if it's a split venue, it's all good. So in Arizona, you can have a bar inside and then an outside patio with a band, and all ages can be outside, and then people with alcohol can go inside, get alcohol, come outside and watch the show. And it's fine there. It's fine in California too, but our laws here are like, oh, you're drinking, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know why we care so much, but we really care. Like, we promote the shit out of alcohol, and we're just like, oh, drink. Everybody drink. Oh, blah, blah. Days for drinking. Cinco de Mayo, St. Patrick's Day. But then they're just like, oh, you're drinking? What? You're not 21.
Yeah. That's the problem I've had most of the times. Like, I remember I had a show at the Hard Hat, and I brought, like, it was at least fucking, like, 10, 12 people that came for that show. And the one day they fucking had a security guy there. This fucking card people. I remember doing like several shows there before that. But the time where I actually get people to come of my own fucking people, like, you know, is the day that they fucking have people there. I'm like, and I had gone into that bar when I was fucking 20 years old, before I was 21. It was like 2 weeks before I turned 21, and I performed in there. Not a peep. But then fucking the time where I can get actual people in this little small shithole, that's when they have this guy's like, oh, can I see your ID? Well, just keep him away from the bar, you fucking idiot. I don't know. Or maybe just allow outside events in that parking lot you have. You know what I mean? Because I really think it kills that industry or our industry in a way.
It being restricted to bars is bad, and also a lot of it's pay for play, dude. A lot of times it's like you have to, if you're not going through a promoter. Well, if you're going through a promoter, they might say like you got to sell this many tickets or else you buy them.
The times that I've done shows where the promoter does that, to where they're like, okay, you have to sell at least 15 tickets, and they give you like 45 tickets or some shit like that. At least sell 15, and they're like charging like $22 per ticket. Like when I opened up for Mayday and Prozac and all them, like back, it's probably like 2 years ago. Yeah, and then they only give you like 2% of those tickets, so you're making like $2 a ticket off of those. Or like, okay, let me not be too over exaggerating, but I'm saying like out of the $20 per ticket, I only made like $5 per ticket. God damn.
No, you don't make a lot, dude, and it's fucked up when you play at these bars too. They want us to sell tickets, then we get to the show and we want to sell merch, and they're just like, hey, we get a percentage of that.
Yeah, we get a percentage of it, and also sometimes like, we don't have a table, we don't have this, and we don't have that. Like, Jesus Christ. I remember at the bar that I played with, even the band, like the bigger known band, had to like fucking put their shit on like the pool tables to make tables for the merch table or some shit like that. Oh man, it's just terrible how like I guess we're treated in a way. But it's like we're trying to bring people to your venue. We're trying to bring you business even when we do these shows on the weekdays.
Exactly, bro.
But yeah, that's such a huge gripe on there, man.
I feel like I have a lot of gripes with security guards. Especially when I'm playing shows. Because it's like stupid shit. It's like stupid. Like I'm at the House of Blues, and it's literally like I can go backstage, but they're just like, oh, you can't use this door. You got to go around. And I'm literally like,
my God,
and I'm just like, dude, I have the thing. It's all good. I'm about to go do this, and like, no, bro, you have to go around. I'm sorry, and just shit like that. Or it's literally like my girlfriend's there with me, and I'm just like, oh, I just wanted to get something from the back, and you're just like, oh, you can go back there, but she can't. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
They get over intensive, dude. Some security guards are cool, but like a lot of them are fucking dicks, bro. Like hardcore dicks.
It does piss me off when you do have the wristbands. I remember having the wristband and the dude still wouldn't like go around. I'm like, fuck you. Like that's my equipment is right in that door.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like you're blocking me for a property I own. You know, maybe on your property, but I'm saying like you gave me this wristband for a reason. That's the type of shit.
There's this security guard also at the Triple B's that like kept on getting hella mad because he had to unlock the door for us.
Yeah.
And it's hella stupid because they're just like loading this time, and we're there and everything's locked.
Yeah.
And then we can't get in, and then like he unlocks it, and then like certain people left. And then came back and they try to get in and then it's locked again. And he's just like, what the fuck? How many times do I need to open this door?
Yeah, it's, oh my God, that's happened fucking to me so many times too. And, God damn, I can't stress this enough about how fucking horseshit they are. And, how much do you usually pay to play?
Well, we don't usually pay to play.
No, but I'm saying, like, you've done it, right?
Yeah, that shit happens with the whole ticket sales thing. Sometimes it just, like, because you lose tickets or you don't get them all or whatever, you know, it's just that.
You have to pay
you have to buy the rest of them, you know?
Oh, that's how that
works. Or they say you need to sell a minimum of this, you know, and shit like that. And, you know, at house shows and the majority of stuff we're doing, we're not really looking to make money, dude. It's just kind of more of a publicity and a fun thing to do.
Yeah, same here. I think that's what all house shows should be.
If we got like a fair shake, and I don't mean so much at house shows, I mean like at other things like bars and stuff. I mean, I think we'd be much more willing to do it, but for whatever reason, it just can't be done. I don't even mean like a lot of money, dude. I mean, if you gave us like $50, dude, or something like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes we do make something like that, but not often. You know,
$50 each for each member.
No, I was talking about total, dude. For each member, dude, that's like fucking $400, man, or more than that's hella more than that.
I mean, my cousin does it at his events.
That's a different thing.
It is a different thing.
People don't hire ska bands to show off, dude. That's like a thing of just like, we're gonna make an occasion, so we'll hire a band, and like we're not really like a band. I mean, like, if you pay us, we'll play somewhere, but it's not like people don't want us for that reason. We're not marketing ourselves for that reason either. But
I feel like you kind of should in a way, but the people who do listen to your music are kind of like, you gotta admit they're broke. Like, and that's in every genre. It's like, but I guess because I feel like ska music can be categorized as party music.
Oh, it is. You know, you can play the festivals and everything like that. It's possible to tour and sustain it with this, but I don't think it's possible to like make a shit ton of money touring like this.
Yeah,
if that makes sense, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And in California, it's way more serious than it is here. And in Mexico and other parts of South America, they fucking love what we do, dude. But like, the rest of the country, dude, no one knows what it is. If you're going further towards the east, dude, it's like it gets less and less of a thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In California, it's popping though, dude. All the bands are like hella good, but they honestly all really sound very similar. But like every time I go to like when we played in California, I've seen shows in California, the ska bands, like they're hella good, like amazingly good, super tight, like very high level of musicianship, but they're all very traditional and they don't take risks and they all very much sound a certain way.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Oh, I get that. I could see why. But at the same time, at least they're more accepting of it. That's more or less what I'm trying to get at, is that there should be a little bit more acceptance there. Of course, there's always that asshole who always ruins it for these occasions or these events. So that's why they're so uptight and kind of assholes about it. But I say we move on from that, because
fuck, bro, we talked a lot about that shit.
Yeah, we're 43 minutes in. It's an in-depth. It's something we go in depth about because we know it. You know, we've experienced it. So, shit, like we can't help it. We can't help but go down that rabbit hole, man. But I want to go down another rabbit hole that you've been insisting on constantly.
Oh God, now that it's here, I don't know.
Voodoo and the magic.
I don't know, man.
You sure? I can cut it off right now. We won't even talk about it. We won't discuss it. I'll cut it off right now.
Do we really want to wait for that again? I am pretty tired, man.
All right. I thought that was just me. I was wondering why. I'm like, damn, I feel like hazy in here. But it's just your room and all this damn vapor. I'm kidding.
That might be
Not
part
kidding. Sort of. I'm looking around. I'm like, damn, I feel like hazy and lightheaded right now. Yeah. But you know what? We'll end it off right here.
We gotta talk about magic.
Magical.
I really want to do that, but I need the coffee, man.
You want to go get some coffee? No, I'm kidding. I'll let you get some rest. Let you sleep it off. But that I love talking about what we were talking about, man. That shit was great, man. It's also insightful for you to tell me these things.
It's just what I've seen, man. I mean, I think about a lot of stupid, crazy train wreck things I've seen, fights at shows, drugs, people being really fucked up, you know, people doing stupid, fucked up shit. I feel like I have a lot of good rock star stories and things like that.
I'm always gonna keep asking about them.
Yeah.
That might be a reoccurring topic or such that I will
Thing, man.
bring
I
back up.
got my own rock star stories too, dude. Like playing acid at that show, man. Oh god, playing on acid at that desert show, dude. Fucking A, man.
I didn't realize.
I mean,
I was sprung at the time.
I've tripped at a couple other shows since then, and when you're doing good, that shit's fun as hell. And you honestly do play a different way, like a little bit different, just differently. I wouldn't say better, but it's like you'll come at it in a different way. But like that night in the desert, we were not doing good, and it felt so bad to be on psychedelics in front of people fucking up, and you could just feel the hate, dude. We could Chucky too, like we both, when we were done playing, we just kind of sat down and looked at each other and felt really bad.
Were you guys kind of stranded out there for a while? Well, not stranded, but when you did the acid and all that other shit, were you kind of just like...
We went out there at like 4 o'clock. That's when the sun was still out, and we took it then, started setting everything up. So no, I got home at like 2 in the morning or something like that.
Because I drove with you guys. I was with you guys.
Were you?
I was in the car with you guys. Because then I got picked up by my girlfriend at the time. And I took a ride with her. She took me home.
Forgot that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, bro.
I was in the truck.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, man. That was crazy, dude. That was some bad feels. Some bad feels being in front of people like that. But then I've had some good feels too, man. And then you just see other people tripping out, and oh man, a lot of drunk people. I've seen a lot of drunk people do a lot of stupid things, man. And they got like nitrous in California. That's like a huge thing out there, dude.
Is it a festival?
No, that's like a fucking drug.
Oh shit!
Like nitrous oxide. Like at every party you go to in California, they have a nitrous tank, and they sell it in balloons, and it's nitrous oxide. It's laughing gas, just like you get at the dentist.
Get the fuck out of here! Are you,
Jesus
dude?
Well, that's
Christ.
also what's in Whippets. Like if you get high off of whipped cream or any of that. Have you ever done
Yeah,
Whippets?
I know. I never done it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Where people like.
No, every show you go to California, people are getting high on that. There's this one show we played, that was also a really bad show. Like the crowd was like mad, but there was like the show we played where there were like 2 or 3 people selling like nitrous from tanks. Then they had food. Then there was some guy that had a little bar set up. Then there was somebody that was selling like joints and like bong rips. And then there were people selling fucking air duster. And these literally these 2 guys wearing bandanas selling air dusters with like paper towels, and like people like huffing air duster to get high, which like I like nitrous oxide. But I will say I tried it that night. I wasn't like, give me a fucking whole can of it. But I was literally saw people doing that, and I'm standing next to the guy wearing the bandana, and he's just like, oh, dude, you ever done this? And I was like, no, I haven't, bro. And he's like, yeah, man, it's fucking crazy, dude. And I was like, I like nitrous, but like, this is like a lot. And he's like, dude, if you like nitrous, it's like that, but way more intense, bro. You gotta try this. And I fucking did, and that was some weird feelings, but like the main thing I was trying to talk about is like the nitrous, dude. Like people hit that shit and like literally hit that shit until they pass out for a minute, and then they just hit the floor. And I just saw this guy who had like 3 balloons in his hand and a 40, and he's just like there watching the music, and he starts hitting one balloon, and then like he's just hitting it really hard, and then he just falls back, and the 40 breaks on the ground, and then he's on the ground, and he hit his head. And he's just there like unconscious, and then the 2 balloons he just let go of, and they just went like all around. And I was just kind of like, damn, dude. Like, people do some fucked up shit, dude. California, they party hard, dude. Like the fucking song. Mm-hmm. Like, for real, dude. Like, they
knows how to party.
They fucking do, dude.
Shit.
To a scary degree, man. And then there's just balloons everywhere at the shows. And then
is that why there's all these balloons over there, huh?
Yeah,
I learn something new every day.
Dude, we went to this one show, and I mean, house shows look pretty bad in Vegas after you clean them up and shit, but we went to this one show, place for a show. We get there at like 4 p.m, get into California, and the owner of the show is there. He's like, "What's up, guys? I'm ready. Let's open this shit." And he opens the gate in the backyard, and it's literally like you could not walk without stepping on beer cans. And he just gets out like a big ass push broom, like you'd see somebody like Walmart with, and just pushes all the beer cans and balloons over. And then he drags out 2 nitrous tanks, and he just sits there and starts doing nitrous while he talks to us about the show and shit. He's like, "You want some nitrous, bro?" And I was like, yeah.
Nitrous sounds like a Hulk Hogan type of drug.
It's not.
No, but I'm saying like the name. It's like, "Hey, we're gonna do some nitrous." We're like, "Oh yeah."
It sounds very like manly. It's like nitro.
Yeah, like that's what I.
Oh yeah.
That's what I affiliated with.
It's not that kind of drug though.
It's totally different from the way it sounds.
Eric. My friend Eric came up with a really good explanation for how nitrous feels, because it's used in medicine as an anesthetic, and it will take away all pain. Like, it's a really weird like body high in itself, to where like you stop feeling things type shit. But it's not a drunk kind of thing where like you could kind of be lucid and seeing, but you just kind of feel that you don't have any pain or sensation. But like, this is what Eric said, and this like describes it perfectly, dude. This describes nitrous like to a T.
And he's done it?
He's done it. He's done it with me. In Saving Private Ryan, when Tom Hanks is on the beach in the beginning and the bomb hits him and he's shell-shocked and it's all quiet and it's just like, ee! And he's looking around at all the chaos.
Yeah.
When you like huff enough nitrous, that's what happens. Like, you hear this kind of hiss in your ear, and like all sound disappears, and it almost sounds like static in your ear, and you have this weird feeling of just like, holy fuck, I'm alive and I'm here, and you kind of just like realize what you were doing right away. It's almost like hitting a reset button in your mind. It's an interesting feeling. Like, I've done it quite a bit.
Yeah, I gotta do some research into what the fuck. Like,
they love that shit in California. If you go to the dentist, that is the same drug they give you, except they put it on like a mask and they dilute it with oxygen, so you kind of like stay there. But with like whippets or nitrous like that, you just get a balloon of it and then you breathe it for a bit, you get high. But like the second you breathe air again, like you become sober again. So that's the other really cool thing about it when it comes to parties and stuff, is like you can get so fucked up to the point where you're passing out and then just literally 30 seconds later be fine to drive. That's the other like unreal thing about it, is like you're out of it like fucking bam, like you're fine again.
Nitrous is like that.
Yeah.
So,
but the best way I could describe the feeling
it never shows up on drug tests.
Oh no, you can't test for it. It's out of your system that fast, dude. And it's also legal, dude. You can go buy a case of it at the smoke shop we were just at where Luis got a battery. You could buy a case of it.
So you could buy a case of it.
But in California, they don't have a case of little whippets. They have like an actual 20-pound tank that they give filled up.
So how long does it last?
What do you mean?
Like the high of nitrous.
That's what I mean. So you fill up a balloon.
Yeah.
If you breathe in and out of the balloon, you'll be high for like 30 seconds, and then you'll be out of it, and you'll be sober again. That fast.
But it's only a 30-second high?
Yeah.
But it's just to feel it.
But if you have like several balloons, or if you're like babysitting it, like it lasts for a bit longer. But it is a quite interesting feeling. Like I said, when you're really in it, the best way I could explain it is in Saving Private Ryan and it's on the beach. Like you can't hear anything, or at least you can't focus on what you're hearing, and you just feel really shell-shocked and you're just like, holy shit, what the fuck? But if you just have a little bit of it, you feel really numb. It feels crazy to like move around, and it makes music sound like really, really dope. But I enjoy what I just said, like the whole Saving Private Ryan, because it's like a reset. Like you have this crazy feeling of like, holy shit, I was out of my body and out of everything, and now I'm back. I'm awake now, dude. Like it's a very weird feeling like that. But they love that shit in California, dude. I have never seen that at a house show here. But at California, every single house show. Every single one, dude.
Damn.
They love it. They fight over it, dude. Like, that's some real shit. Like, they have turf wars and shit.
You know what it reminds me of? That, you ever played Saints Row 2?
No.
Where they do they do a drug out of a light bulb. That's what it reminds me of. But it's sort of like they're doing, like, meth out of the light bulb.
Yeah.
They're smoking crack or whatever the fuck. But it's just called Loa Dust. That's what that reminds me of, because they present it as like a college drug, so you just see broken light bulbs broken everywhere. Oh, jeez, redundant much, but good lord, I didn't realize people were taking nitrous oxide at shows. So if I ever go to a show or a house party in California and I see balloons,
That's what it's from, dude.
I literally thought those were just fucking party balloons. I've seen that at a party that I went to in Halloween. I was like, damn, there's a lot of balloons
If
here.
it was a lot, yeah, dude. Yeah, that wasn't just for a party. Well, it was for a party, but not the kind of party you think of. You know what else is hella cool about nitrous oxide, bro? You know how, like, if you inhale helium, it makes your voice higher?
Mm-hmm.
Nitrous oxide makes you, like, your voice go lower. So when you exhale it, you're like, yo, what's up, motherfucker? Like, dude, it's fun. It's fun.
I was gonna say, like, it's got to be very similar to when you do helium. Except with helium, you're not really getting high.
The high
that we know of.
High,
Are you getting high off helium?
Nah, dude. The high with nitrous oxide is like a real thing because it's flooding your body with oxygen, and it's just literally your body is getting high off of that amount of oxygen.
Could you overdose off of it?
Yes.
Have people overdose? Have you seen people overdose over it?
So here's the thing. People who are really into it, people who like get a tank, and like, I mean, it's not that hard, dude. If you fake a business license for, like, to say you have a bakery, you could get a tank. If you fake a business permit for, like, to say, well, I have a fucking business fixing cars, so to say, like, oh, I want to do nitrous oxide fills for people's cars, I could get one.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. So people who do that might set up a mask, and that's bad, and that's how people die, because they'll basically be so high they can't take it off, and then they'll stop breathing and die. So that's really bad. But the whole thing is, if you're doing it with balloons, it doesn't stick to your face. And if you do get so high to where you pass out, which is what happens to a lot of people, like I said, that's what a lot of people go for. That's what I personally go for. If I'm hitting a balloon, the second I pass out, it's not going to be blowing in my mouth anymore, and I'll be on the ground, but I'll be inhaling oxygen, and then I'll wake up and be fine. So it's very dangerous when it comes to a mask. But that's like, I've never even seen that, like, personally, apart from like a dentist's office.
I was just curious.
People have died from it using masks and things like that. I want to say, was that Amy Winehouse or somebody like that? Somebody famous that just recently died, I believe, was because of that, actually, dude.
Wow. Okay. Damn. We were supposed to talk about magic, but you told me about something magical that I realized existed, but I didn't realize people were using it as a party drug. Have you seen anybody use Flocka around you?
Oh, God, no.
Thank God. I'll close it off there, man. I'm sorry.
Flocka, bro, man. Dude, there's a lot of scary drugs out there, dude. All those research chemicals, man, which, I mean, I've had some of, not sometimes purposely, sometimes not purposely. But, like, dude, the one time, this is so bad and stupid, but literally I was trying to stop smoking weed. I didn't want, because I was afraid and I wanted to pass a drug test. So I'm like, oh, I'll smoke some spice, dude. I tried that once before. It'll be a good time. And it was the fucking hardest, most insane, crazy visual fueled thing. Like, I mean, I've had other drug trips that were longer. I've had other drug trips that were more meaningful. But as far as, like, me being out of my mind, like, holy shit, it was so bad, dude. It was not a good time. Not recommended. And it really fucked me up. And they're making, like, new ones of those all the time, like, every day, dude. Like the Flocka, like, all this crazy shit in the UK, like the bath salts. And they just, like, outlaw one and they make a new one. You know what I mean? And some of that shit's promising, dude. Like, I mean, one time I took acid, but it wasn't technically acid. It was LSD/Z, which is a research chemical that when you take it, your body breaks it down and makes acid. So that sounds really stupid, and you're just like, so it's acid, but it's like, no, chemically it's not. So this lab in Germany can make it and ship it around the world, because technically it's not acid. So they play that whole game, and then they ban that chemical, so then they make a different version, and they make a different version. And some are really good, and sometimes people say great things about them. A lot of them are, like, way too strong and really fucking scary.
Yeah. So
like fentanyl, dude. Fentanyl is synthetic. It's
Yeah.
based on opium and opiates, but that shit is just a chemical made in a lab. But that shit, bro, a fucking speck of like dust and sand would knock you and I out of fentanyl. Like literally a speck of sand would knock us out for hours, dude. And the amount that would fit on like the tip of your fucking pinky fingers, like nail underneath there, would like kill you. It's that strong. So like we have the potential now to make shit that strong, dude.
It's like ricin. Holy shit.
Yeah, but the whole thing is like we made that because we were just like, it's bad, people are doing drugs, we need to like outlaw this, and then like so they're just like, oh, okay, we'll make new drugs.
Yeah.
And then they outlawed those, so they're just like, oh, it's cool, we'll make a new drug.
Yeah.
And then it just keeps going, and now we've bred some kind of monster that's like fucking people up a lot, and now like people are more addicted to fentanyl than like heroin and shit. And it's literally like so strong and so potent that like, dude, we would die. Like we would die type shit.
Be like Little Peep, the rapper.
Yeah. But it's like literally can be made by the pound. Heroin can't be made by the pound unless you have like fields of poppies and you're growing it and everything like that. Fentanyl, you just need a little laboratory and like 3 Asian guys to like work it, dude. That's it. Well, I mean, that's where it literally comes from. Is like fucking China, dude. They just make chemicals and they're just like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll make you this. We'll send it.
What's the compound of fentanyl? Do you know?
I can't break it down for you, but it's something based on an opiate, but it came out to be much more potent like that, dude.
Jeez.
To like I said, to the point where like a grain of that shit pure, like if there was like a little pile of it and you like licked your pinky and dipped it in there and then touched it to your tongue, you would die from a drug overdose. Like, I mean, you would like pass out and then just forget to breathe and die. Like that's it, dude.
Shit. And you make the world. I'm gonna admit to you, Lewis, that you
I'm
make the
fucking
world
cynical as hell, dude.
You make the world very scary every time. Every time I do a podcast here, I am very afraid of the world.
Oh man, nothing was scary we talked about until right now.
Well, I know nothing we talked about was scary, but when you talk about it like that in a way to you're like a little speck like that or little drops, because I believe it, because it's fucking how potent like acid is and all these other drugs that like you can get high by touching them contact wise. It gets in your pores.
And you watch documentaries about it, and before people were looking at fentanyl to like basically like illegal people were like cutting heroin with it to say just like, oh, you know, like I'll make more money because fentanyl's cheaper. But now it's just like people want fentanyl to where it's like it's all cut, and now you just don't know what you're. I mean, it's kind of always that way, just like with cocaine and other things, like, or ecstasy is like you don't know really what's in the pill, but like now it's almost just like fentanyl's probably in there because people want a stronger high, but that high is so strong that it's almost like unless you have an extreme tolerance, you're gonna die type shit. And then depending on who mixes it up, if they just add a tiny bit more, like you're fucked, dude. Goes for a lot of drugs too, dude. I mean, acid and stuff like that.
I'm trying to stay away from it, man. I'm trying to just be clear. I already have drugs in my head. All these chemicals that are going off, the serotonin, the endorphins, all this crazy shit that's already in there. Why mix it up? You know what I mean? But thank you, Louie. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart that I have to bring this equipment all over here. It's kind of a hassle because I live like 20 plus miles away. I know it's a first world problem because I do have a fuel efficient car, I guess. But still, I like these talks that we do.
Yeah, me too, man.
So I guess you'll be back on here again for that topic that you keep trying to knock on there. And hopefully Eric won't flake this time. Or at least answer his phone.
And maybe Luis will get some
Luis
balls.
ain't gonna never do it. Luis did a podcast a couple months back. Say November. We did a November episode. We were able to convince him to come on there at the Comic Critics. And ever since then, nope. Still haven't been able to get that guy on camera or anything here entertainment-wise. We ruined that, I guess. Doing that one video that I showed you that one time, the who is Luis video, that kind of ruined it. So I can't help it. But I'm signing off. We're here at the 1 hour and 5 minute mark. And I'm going to plug again where you can follow me at The Ego James at Instagram, and on Twitter you can follow me at Northtown Ego, and you can email the podcast at theegojamespodcast@gmail.com.
You could listen to my band. It's called Los Atascados, LOSATASKADOS. Los Atascados. We have a band camp called So Not Psyched where you can listen to some of our music, and there should be new stuff soon.
How about you guys make a band camp that has your actual name?
We should. That's a good idea.
Just a suggestion.
It's a good idea.
And a SoundCloud. These are all free products you guys could use, and even getting your stuff on these other platforms is really easy. And you guys could, and it lets you distribute it. As long as you guys all have an account, you guys can distribute your royalties amongst yourselves.
That would be great and sounds like a dream. It's just
I know it's harder with a band, but
it is, man.
Just saying.
That's 9 people.
I recommend.
That's 9 people you got to get on the same
it's
page.
The age of the internet, you fucking get on it. I'm telling you, get on it, man.
All right.
Peace out. I'm going home. Gotta pack this shit up. Love you, Lewis. Love you guys.
I love you too. I love everyone that listens to this.
Yeah, sure.